Hello again. So, it's a funny thing that yeah. So now we're basically at our cruising altitude, and our top of descent, as you can see, is coming up over here. So we need to slowly start our descent preparations. And while we depart out of Berlin, where it was snowing, now I'm just looking out of my window here in the UK. Then now it also starts snowing over here, so that's all that bad weather coming over from the east now finally made its way to the United Kingdom. So, oh well. And just for the record, I hate snow. So anyway, so let's just go on with our descent preparation. So I just looked on the IVAO WebEye. There's only Frankfurt Tower online at the moment. And they're saying, okay, so it's runway 07 left and right that's in use, which is good because I planned for runway 07 left. So, whoops, wrong button. There we go. So now let's just request the latest weather for our destination and for Frankfurt Hahn, which is our alternate. And now we wait. And here we go. So, wind 050 at 22 knots. Okay, and also some precipitation, towering cumulus. Okay, that should be interesting. -3 degrees, QNH 1024. Alright, should be a interesting approach. Hope I don't mess it up too badly. And any landing you can walk away from is a good landing, and any landing where you can reuse the equipment is an extremely good landing. It's like an old aviator's joke. So anyway, so 1024. Just put that on the approach page. Temperature is -3, and the wind 050 at 22. And the transition level is 60. So I've got all that set. Now just go to the progress page and just put in the bearing and distance to runway 07 left. So 152 miles to go, but that's the direct. Excuse me. So that concludes that. Just take a look over here. So arriving with 3.0 tons. So Mach 7.3 for descent. 48 miles till our top of descent. So set my TCAS to below, which I already did off camera. And yeah, let me just go through the system pages one by one, just to see if there's everything is in working order, the way it should be. So landing elevation 400 feet, and Frankfurt the elevation is 360, so that is fine. That's okay. Hydraulics seem to be okay. Alrighty. So now all we got to do is just wait for the top of descent. So here we are, just about 8 miles to go until the top of descent. So I'm just going to pre-select flight level 130, which is basically where we want to be at, just over at Karax. Selected the constraints, and yeah, it's a shame that there's no air traffic online. But then again, I should just choose my times of flying and recording just a bit more wisely when there are more people online right now. it's a Monday afternoon, so obviously everyone's working, and today's my off day. So yeah. So anyway, so 3 miles to go. I'm just going to initiate the descent now. So flight level 130 blue, descent. And we will be level in about 58 miles, so right around overhead KLX. And it's going to be a managed descent. And the entire time I'm just keeping an eye out for traffic. And also just waiting for the descent path to just catch up with us. I always like to do a slightly early descent, because then it's just like what I like to call it, does a nice soft capture of the descent profile. Whereas if I would initiate it right at the top of descent, then it's going to try and chase the descent profile, and it's just basically going to nosedive until it captures the profile. So then I don't think our passengers would appreciate that. So down we go. Oh boy, I'm just looking outside my window, and the snow is really starting to pick up. And it's also starting to, yeah, exactly, it's starting to lay down on the roof, on the rooftops. So doesn't seem to be melting. Oh boy. Okay. Let's go for some more wing views. I mean, that's some significant cloud cover. Excuse me. Please forgive me for always coughing into the mic. As I said, I'm still recovering from the flu. Plates. So KRX is the clearance limit, so if approach radar would have been online, I would have made sure to contact him before I reach KRX, otherwise I would have to enter a hold. But as there is no one online, I guess I can just blast straight ahead. And while I'm at it, I might as well just complete my nav setup for the approach. So I will be needing, okay, Frankfurt mine on nav 1, and I'm going to put Taunus on nav2. This is for my missed approach procedure. And the minimum is 505 feet. And we'll be using RAAS slow. And I might as well get the approach briefing out of the way. So, approach briefing is going to be an ILS Zulu approach runway 07 left in Frankfurt. Final altitude is 5,000 feet. Glide path comes in overhead Nordgo. Then check altitude at 4.2 DME is 1,630 feet, and minimum is 505 feet. And in case of missed approach, climb straight ahead at 3.2 DME of Frankfurt Main, turn left onto 007, and then at 4.2 DME of Frankfurt Main, turn left to intercept radial 338 of Frankfurt Main, which is set on nav 1, and then turn left to intercept radial 088 inbound Taunus, which is set on nav 2, and climbing to 5,000. And the highest MSA we will be passing through is 4,300 to the northwest. And this will be flaps full, RAAS low. Approach briefing complete. Okay, so we're almost upon Karax. And then at Karax we will just stick around flight level 130 and then descend at a later stage. One of the reasons why they bring it down that far, so far out, is my guess is so that in case they want to give you shortcuts or something like that, you're already at the right altitude, so that they can give you the appropriate shortcut to intercept the ILS. Otherwise, you're pretty much at cruising altitude all the way until at least that, like, I think at Gedon, that's when top of descent would come in, which is then way too late. So, excuse me. Let's go for some more wing views. If only Germany would look this wintry right now, because I guarantee you it's not this snow covered. Speaking of snow, seems to lighten up over here, and also seems like the snow is melting on the rooftop, so that's a win. Let's hope it keeps on melting. So 2,000 to go. So now we're over at Karax, and I am now kind of going to give myself the clearance to fly the Karax 07 November transition. Then just proceed as filed. And we're hitting the clouds, so engine anti-ice on. So minus 29 degrees up here. And the outer skin temperature of our aircraft is minus 16, so plenty of chance for ice to build up. And as a matter of fact, because with the flight simulator you never really know when the ice buildup happens, I'm just gonna turn on the wing anti-ice, because normally for the wing anti-ice what the crew would do is they would just look out the window just look at the leading edge of the wing, or they would look at this thing that's sticking outside and see if there's any ice that accumulates on there, and that's basically that visual cue for them to say, ah, okay, time to turn on the wing anti-ice. But that's not really simulated in Flight Simulator, or rather should I say Prepared 3D. So I just kind of turn it on as a preemptive measure. Helped me so far. I mean, the Airbus 320 also has an ice detection system on there, so if it detects ice, it's going to warn you on the ECAM. It's going to say ice detected. But if you turn all the stuff on beforehand, there's no real harm in doing so. Go Delta Fox 439er. It says at or above flight level 900. I'm just going to keep us up here at 130 until at which point the FMS will automatically just go down to 250 knots, and at that point that's when I usually start my descent down to below flight level 100. It's just what I tend to do when there's no air traffic control around. That's how I kind of factor myself down. And we can see what the vertical deviation is. So it's saying, yeah, so we're now 1,200 feet above, but it don't matter. But I do like the cloud cover. Okay, let's just check WebEye, see if there's anyone else around. Still just the tower. Wing anti-ice off, because now we're outside the clouds. And engine anti-ice also off. We'll put them back on once we get near some clouds. Well, I guess we can descend to 9,000, start flight level 900 using vertical speed mode. Just a nice shallow descent. So flight level 900 blue. And let's also strap in the passengers. So seatbelt signs on. Just take everything nice and easy. And Frankfurt should be somewhere over there below the clouds. What I could do is actually just tune into the tower frequency just so that we can listen to the chatter. I already pre-selected that, so let's just do that. Just listen to the chatter, if there is any.
Ready to taxi. Europa 254, taxi November, turn left November 11, turn right Lima, hold short November 14. Taxi runway 07, center November 1 Lima, taking hold short, European to Telefon. Europa 254, you need to listen to me.
Oh boy.
I have not cleared you to a runway. Taxi November, turn left November 11, turn right Lima, hold short of runway, hold short of November 14. I have not said any word about the runway yet.
Oh boy, what did we get ourselves into? Engine NTS on. And wing NTS on.
We're back now from the cargo Lufthansa 404. The scope is 2515, clear to destination Atlanta via ORBX.
And dial the speed back to 250. Oh, okay. We're already at 250. Cool. Didn't notice that.
Yeah, Lufthansa cargo 404, fast correct, initial climb for the 07 left is 5,000 feet.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I hope I set up my sound settings correctly so that you guys are able to hear the chatter.
Is also ready to copy clearance to Atlanta.
Lufthansa cargo 8170, Frankfurt Tower, einen schönen guten Tag. Your startup is approved. Cleared destination Atlanta by the
So 1000.
Delta departure out of runway 07 center, flight plan route, squawk 0617.
Cleared to destination Atlanta with a Windows 7 Delta departure route out of
Let's just turn on the weather radar. See if there's anything of interest.
0617 for Lufthansa cargo 8170.
Europa 254, continue taxi Lima to 1 runway 07 center.
Montia taxi Lima 2, Contia, runway 7 center,
Lufthansa cargo 8772, wind 050 degrees, 23 knots, runway 07 center, clear.
I'll start.
Kann man Feedback an? 8170?
8170, ja, ist korrekt. Wir wiederholen nur keine Feedbacks mehr. Also kein Feedback mehr.
Ah, gut. Alles klar.
Okay, let me just see if there's anyone that may cut me off. If not, I'm actually going to consider taking a shortcut. Yeah. Okay. So. So down to 5,000, and the QNH is 1024, I believe. Yeah, 1024. Actually, make open descent. So open descent 5,000 blue. Just gonna kind of take a shortcut. No point in flying the whole RNF transition if there's no traffic. Nothing of interest on the weather radar, so I'm just gonna turn that off. Why is that not? No, there we go.
Frankfurt Tower ready for push. Lufthansa Cargo 404. Lufthansa Cargo 404, push approved. Push approved. Lufthansa Cargo 404. Lufthansa Cargo 8. Yeah, Lufthansa Cargo 8772, square Charlie. Lufthansa Cargo 81. Ja, Lufthansa Cargo 8170, ich bin ja glaube ich einen Schritt voraus, Pusche.
8170, danke.
Lufthansa Cargo 8772, 320 change approved, goodbye.
2,000 to go.
US 4 line up and wait, runway 07 center. Line up and wait, runway 07 center, you'll be at 254.
Excuse me. Alright, so hitting select. Turn left to 160.
Europe 1254, wind 2.050 degrees, 6, runway 07 center, clear take.
Alt star. And let's just activate approach phase. Bring the aircraft down. Slow the aircraft down. And let's just go down to 210 knots, or actually minimum clean, so 200 knots. And let's just continue to 100 and arm the localizer. And flaps 1. Now we're just going to maintain 200 knots until the glide path becomes visible, and then we're just going to bring it down to S speed. Ah, there we go, there's the glide path. So let's just bring it in a bit more. So 90 degrees, because there's quite a crosswind over here. Okay, localizer seems to be alive, and let's bring this thing back to S speed. Lock star. And I'm just going to turn wing anti-ice off.
Lufthansa Cargo 8170, also PFPX pusht uns gerade schon auf die 6 Welle, fragt mich nicht wieso. Nicht, dass du die wunderst.
8.70, Roger, Frankfurt.
Frankfurt Tower, schönen guten Tag, Lufthansa 6 Charlie Hotel established ILS 007 left.
Lufthansa 6 Charlie Hotel, Frankfurt Tower, hello, wind 070 degrees 19 and launch runway 07 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 07 left, Lufthansa 6 Charlie Hotel. No, glide slope star.
Protecting Lufthansa cargo for the
Okay, so missed approach, 5,000 is set.
Contact the holding point Lima to 1, runway 07 center via November 11, Lima to 1.
holding point 07 center via November 11, Lima and Lima 21. Over.
No, that's the thing with Frankfurt, it's always a long straight in approach. Yeah, with that headwind, our ground speed is only 166 knots. Yeah, so it's going to take a while. So outer tank fuel cross feed, but that's fine. We got still 3.1 tons on board.
Lufthansa 8170, pushback completed, ready for taxi.
Lufthansa Cargo 8170, für meine Planung, wie rum hat sich denn der GSX jetzt ausgesprungen?
Ich gucke jetzt voll in Cargo-Gebäude rein, also wieder Richtung Parking Position. Der hat sich einfach nur links nach hinten gedreht, ne? Und mitten auf die Textplate.
Who's that creeping up on me?
Lufthansa Cargo 8170 und dann rechts 180 Grad, das müsste November 14 sein und dann bitte Hold Short auf Lima.
Rechts 180, November 14 and Hold Short Lima 07.
Okay, so...
Lufthansa Cargo 8170.
Okay, flaps 3. That's right, flaps 2. And speed managed. Gear down. Flaps 3.
2,500.
Frankfurt Tower, schönen guten Nachmittag. Die Flight Express 263 Heavy with you. ILS 07 right. Flight Express 263 Heavy, Frankfurt Tower, einen schönen guten Nachmittag. Wind 70 degrees 16 knots, runway 07 right for land.
There's someone creeping up on me. I hope he'll keep his distance.
Cargo 8170, give way to your company, Boeing 777 coming down Lima, and follow him as number 2 to Lima to 1 runway 077.
Roger, holding position, giving to company on November 14.
Landing checklist. Landing all green, flaps full.
55 is really slow. But I will wait, no problem.
Lufthansa Cargo 8170, es gilt Alter vor Schönheit, also bitte.
Vielen Dank, Dankeschön. Ja, jetzt pusht ihn auch noch mit den alten.
Okay, so motor thrust off. And autopilot off, manual flight. So landing clearance received. Wind is, okay, front left.
1000.
Checked. In hindsight, could have probably used flaps 3. Well, whatever.
Lufthansa Cargo 404, line up and wait on reservation.
Approaching 0, 7,
Whoa. Correcting speed. Wind is always turning here.
500.
Jesus.
400.
Okay, correcting the speed. Speed is high.
$300. 100 above. 200.
Runway inside, straight ahead.
Minimum.
Continue.
$50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, retard,
Oh,
5,
that was a rough one. Oh well. Spoilers for reverse green too, so could have been better. Manual braking. After landing items.
Lufthansa 6 Charlie, Roger, come to Frankfurt, turn left, Papa, November 11, hold short November.
Continue via Papa, November 11, hold short November, Lufthansa 6 Charlie Hotel.
Lufthansa Cargo 404, wind 040 degrees, 13 knots, runway 07 center, clear take.
Clear for takeoff, runway 07 center, Lufthansa Cargo 404.
Yeah, that's where it would be helpful to have another, to have a first officer that would help. Oh well.
Line up runway 07 center, behind taking off aircraft. Lufthansa Cargo 81 center.
Can't have everything in life.
Flight Express 263 Heavy, Frankfurt, hallo, willkommen. Any parking request?
Parking request is and Foxtrot 212 cargo stand, please.
Flight Express 210, correction, Flight Express 263 Roger, taxi Mike 13, Mike 14, hold short 07 center.
Mike 13, Mike 14, hold short 07 center, Flight Express 263.
Yeah, the
Flight Express 263, cross runway 07 center, turn left on Lima.
oh, we'll chat about the landing once we're at the gate, because
Crossing
could have been better.
07 center on left on Lima for Flight Express 263.
And Flight Express 263, taxi stand Foxtrot 212 via Lima and November 14.
Then Foxtrot 212 via Lima and November 14, Flight Express 263.
Lufthansa 6 Charlie Hotel, turn left on November, taxi stand Alpha 1 via taxiways November 4.
Left on November, taxi stand Alpha 1 via November 5. Lufthansa 6 Charlie Hotel.
Lufthansa Cargo 404, frequency change approved by
Alpha 1, oh boy, that's that. Alright, Alpha 1, that's that weird gate where you have to... Nah, you guys will see what I mean. You guys will see what I mean.
Clear for takeoff, 07 center, Lufthansa Cargo 8170 heavy.
Why did he have to give me that gate? Because Alpha 1 is the pretty tricky one to get in, I find. Yeah, that's the one. Where basically you have to go towards the gate and then you have to pretty much do a 180 and loop back and...
667.
Well,
Gate Foxtrot.
why not? Let's try it out. Would have preferred if he would give me another gate.
667 Frankfurt Tower, hello, startup approved, clear Düsseldorf, Maroon 5 Echo departure out of runway 07 center, flight planned route set for initial climb 5,000 feet, set for 1,000.
Clear Düsseldorf, Maroon 5 Echo, climbing 5,000, runway 7 center, squawk 1,000 to Lufthansa 7, section 67.
At this stage I would have normally done a single engine taxi, but because that gate is a bit tricky to get in, I'm just gonna keep all engines running. So slow down.
Lufthansa Cargo 8170 airborne.
Lufthansa Cargo 8170, frequency change approved.
Danke für den Service, schönen Tag noch, 8170 heavy.
So, clear right, clear left. Yeah, Alpha 1, that's that gate over there, and you'll see what I mean. I don't know, I just find it ridiculously difficult to get in, to get into that gate. Even though there are just plenty of other gates around. Oh well, whatever, I'm not gonna challenge the controller. Let's have some fun. Just watch me make a fool of myself. There we go. Yeah, it's that gate over there, and then we need to go in like that, and then we need to loop around. I mean, you guys will see what I mean.
Frankfurt Tower, die Flight Express 263 ist dann blockt.
No. Okay, APU remains off.
Danke für den Service, dir auch noch einen schönen Tag. Tschüss.
So, Alpha 1. So, here we go. And... do I just turn these off? Oh, lordy. Here we go. So, just slow her right down. So... nah, I suppose I could have had GSX marshal me in, but I'll try it like this. So we go in like that. And now this is where it gets disorienting, because now I need to do a right turn to just line up with that. So we'll take a look at it from the outside once I've become stationary. So just a little bit of thrust. Alright. I'm just guessing right now. And now let's just stop it right here. So, yep, we've got external power.
667 requesting for.
Lufthansa 668, pushback to.
Pushback approved. Lufthansa 667.
Okay, just waiting for 20% N2. There you go. Beacons off. And brake off. Parking checklist. All engines off. Radar off. Parking brake off. Parking checklist complete. Okay, let's just... Okay, let me just call into the tower. Lufthansa 6 Charlie Hotel on Blocks. Danke für den Service. Schönen Tag noch. Tschüss. So. Okay, let's just open up the cargo doors and let's just commence deboarding. And let's just check the wheel brakes. Yeah. Turn on the brake fans while we're at it. Why are they? Deboarding requested, waiting for services to complete. What services? Oh, okay. No, wait. GSX glitch. There we go. Let's open the doors. So, now the moment of truth. Let's let's step out and see how I park. Yeah, a bit crooked. Yeah, I should have pulled in more to the right more. But I don't know, I just find that parking spot to be so difficult. I mean, it is what it is. Well, so deboarding has started. Well, and also just to talk about that landing, it's like, yeah, I mean, everything was going smooth, and then just somehow there was like a micro stutter, and then that just basically caused me to just basically overcompensate, pull the nose up, and start floating down the runway a little bit, and came down a bit hard. But I guess in these windy conditions, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's a landing that I'm okay with. In hindsight, maybe I could have used flaps 3 instead, but oh well. I mean, now we're down on the ground, we're safe and sound, so everything's okay. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I most certainly enjoyed this flight. I'm just not going to do a short break, and then I'll be continuing on to do a flight down to Vienna, but that one I will not be recording. Don't want to overdo it, so yeah. So anyway, so wish you guys a nice day. Of course, always many happy landings, and take care.